My name is Jay. As you all know me, I want to solve the exercise 9 assignment. We hosted the session yesterday, but we couldn't finish up. I'm here to tell you guys to brace up. Uh, you guys should brace up for impact because this thing is not getting easier by the day. And only if you are motivated would you be able to continue. This is the point where a lot of people might be thinking cloud engineering is not for them. I won't lie, it's not easy. It's not easy. But I will also tell you it's so difficult. Sure, you get it's not something you can't understand. You can understand it. So I'll be solving the assignment. I want to go to I don't have the file.
Okay, sorry.
So let me just pause here because I'll be using the screen. Let me make it smaller properly. Yeah, I should be able to see. I will be able to see. So I'm going to make this bigger. Yep. And I'm going to ls cd back, and I'm going to delete my folders. I'm going to like start from scratch. Do you guys understand? Of course, I'm not going to delete my vagrants, but I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to show you why your code might not be working. I'm sure a lot of people have not done it. So pay attention to this. To those that joined yesterday, this should be very easy for them because they can now, I can guarantee that, some of them can now write playbooks and they can now SSH into their server. Now, let me mention this. The major issue we were having yesterday, for anyone that have been having issue SSHing into pinging their server, I'll show you what the issue is. The issue is not you, it's not your setup. The issue is coming from DigitalOcean. If you use the AWS, you won't come across this problem. So here in DigitalOcean, the latest Ubuntu here is this Ubuntu 25.04. It will select it automatically for you. You see this 25.04, it comes with some dependencies. Do you understand? But when you are trying to, let me see if I can see the history of my, let me just see if I can see the history of, when you are trying to ping your server, it will be throwing you an error that I'm going to show you now. And that error is coming from this version of Ubuntu. It is asking you to install one of Python dependencies because Ansible runs on Python. Do you get? If you don't have Python installed in the module, in the managed module, and on the control module, it won't run. So if you have it on the control node, sorry, node, not node. If you have it on the control node, you don't have it on the managed node, Python now, it will not run. So ordinarily or originally, these Ubuntu servers, they come with Python, but some of them, I don't know, maybe they don't have the dependencies required. There is one dependency called 6, and you can only install that 6 after you can only install 6 after you've installed pip, because pip is like the package manager for Python. Pip3, pip3. Do you understand? If you don't have pip3, just like if you don't have apt, you can't install on your vagrant. Do you understand? You have to have pip3 to install that 6 module, because the 6 module is not available on the apt. I don't know if I'm making sense. So now this version of Ubuntu, this one here, this 25.04, sorry, my screen is small. This 25.04 here, this one, it is blocking installation of that pip3. No, it is not, it is blocking installation of pip3. Is it blocking it? I think it's blocking installation of the module 6, the 6 module that you need to install. I think pip3 installed, but it will not allow you. It will tell you it's installed, but it will not allow you. So I've been fighting this for days. I want to show you the error it will be throwing. I've been fighting. See here, can you see this error? Let me make my screen bigger. See here, it says module not found. Can you see ansible module utils .6.moves? It wants you to install this 6 module. Do you understand? And for you to install these 6 modules, you need to install a package manager for Python. Sure, you get. So Now, to avoid you SSHing into every server, imagine if you have 100 server, you can't be installing it one by one. I wrote it in the playbook. Let me see if I can see it here. No, I can't see it. I wrote it in the playbook to install that PIP3 and also install the 6 module. Do you understand? This one that is highlighting here, but it still did not work. But whenever I SSH manually, if you see here now, I SSH manually into my let me see. I SSH manually into the server and it worked. But when you try to do it automatically by pinging it, it will not work. Let me see if I can see where I SSH into the server manually. I've been fighting this for days. I can't go up more than this, but it was able to SSH manually. And after I was able to resolve the whole issue, it pinged though. Then I tried to ping again and it started giving me errors again. But I'm happy to tell you I finally found the solution and I'll be putting us through how to do it. Do you understand? I should not be starting from the beginning because this is like taking me back, and the purpose of yesterday's class is almost like not useful. But for the grace of God, I'm going to start from the beginning. So if you've not watched this video, if you don't know how to work on Ansible, if you don't know how to SSH into server, please, I beg you, watch this. This is very, very important. This has stressed me so much and I should like be resting right now. It has really stressed me. So this is like a perfect solution for you. Do you get? So I will start by deleting my Ansible folder. So let me also tell you one thing. It's not as if you can't use this Ubuntu 25.04. It was recently released. I think it was released in April 2025. So it's pretty new. Yeah. There is 22.04, which is the popular one, and the one Abuango used on the LMS. Do you understand? So if you use this 22.04, you won't encounter many problems. So for this 25.04, since it will not allow us install what we need for it to run, what you need to do is what Mayowa, our instructor, did in the live class. She installed Ansible on a virtual environment, and that might be a little bit tricky for most of us. So since this 22.04 works and does not involve installing this, installing that, I would advise, at least for now while we are still learning, to make everything easy until we get the whole concept. Stick to 22.04. So without wasting much time, I'm going to remove everything on my laptop and start afresh so you guys can come with me. In fact, I don't recommend you do this, but just so you guys can understand that I'm starting from the basic, from the basics, I'm going to hold on. I'm going to exit my vagrant and I'll vagrant destroy. Don't do this, so don't do this for any reason. Don't do this for any reason. I'm doing this to start afresh, just like if you are starting for the first time and you've not installed anything, so that my laptop can be fresh and everything I've installed can go away. That's why I'm starting it from the beginning. So if you've not done it before, the error I encounter is the error you'll be encountering on your end as well, so you can come along with me now. I hope that is clear. So I'm going to vagrant up now. Never destroy your vagrant. So never ever destroy your vagrant. Please don't destroy your vagrant unless you know what you are doing. Don't destroy your vagrant for any reason. And for those that have had issues signing into their vagrant and it always says public key denied, the reason is because when you are generating SSH key for whatever you are doing, be it DigitalOcean, be it GitHub, please make sure you are generating SSH key with a custom name depending on where you want to use it. Because when you have an SSH key already, if you generate SSH key again, it will overwrite what you already have, so your vagrant will not be able to log in. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to vagrant SSH now. So I'm going to put this on the big screen. You can see I'm inside my vagrant now and I'm going to clear. So I'm inside my vagrant. This is what I mean. If you do ls al hyphen al. You can see we have a .ssh folder. Let me cd into it, cd.ssh. If I list, the only thing here is my authorized key. This is the key that allows me to log in into my Vagrant, just like the key you need to log in into DigitalOcean or AWS instance. This is the key you need to log into Vagrant. So if you overwrite this key, you cannot log into Vagrant. Do you understand? So anytime you are generating a key, always specify what you are using it for. So when Ambuago was doing his own, you remember he said he is now going to generate a new key because this is a fresh Vagrant environment on his own laptop. Does not mean every time you want to do it, because we have people that when they see live videos or sessions like this, they just copy and paste everything without knowing what they are doing, and at the end of the day they start encountering problem and they will be surprised that okay, the person teaching me, I followed the step by step that he told us to follow, he got it right, how come mine is throwing error? It is because sometimes you don't copy. Even if you are using ChatGPT, you have to know what you are doing. ChatGPT gives wrong answer like 30% of the time, so you have to know what you are doing to be able to correct ChatGPT, or to be able to know that okay, what this instructor is doing is wrong, or what this instructor is doing at this step does not concern me. When it gets to this step, I will do it. Do you understand? So you know where to start following the instructor. You don't just follow blindly. If you have an SSH key, an ID underscore RSA key in your folder before, if you generate a new SSH key, it will overwrite that current one. So now, for the sake of this assignment, we'll go back home. We'll make a directory called Ansible, and we'll cd into that directory. Now we are inside Ansible. As you can see, we don't have anything here. We don't have anything important here. So this is what you will do. Let me make this bigger. Okay, you will now create an SSH key that you want to use. Now remember when I went to my SSH folder just now, the only key there is the authorized key. So it means that no key exists on this Vagrant machine. Do you understand me? The only key there is authorized key, which is for me to log into my Vagrant. If that authorized key disappears from there, I won't be able to log into Vagrant anymore. But if you do go to your SSH folder and you have ID underscore RSA and ID underscore pub, please, ID underscore RSA dot pub, that means your private and public key is already there. Remember, I destroyed my own Vagrant, so this is a fresh Vagrant, is why I don't have it. So if you go cd home with the tilde sign and cd into your .ssh like this, and you do ls, if you have authorized keys, then you have ID underscore RSA and ID underscore RSA dot pub. Please do not generate a new key. Do not generate a new key. The key you'll be using to spin up your virtual server or your instance on DigitalOcean, or your server on DigitalOcean, is the public key. All you need to do from this step is to cat the public key. That is cat ID underscore RSA dot pub. But if your Vagrant is fresh like mine, like this is what you will do. You can generate the key here, or you can cd it to your Ansible folder and specify it to generate here. But what I want to show you now is what you should follow. So even if you have a key already and you want to generate a new key, that is, you already have ID underscore RSA and ID underscore RSA dot pub, but you still want to generate a new key, you can still do that. But make sure when you are generating a new key, you specify the name so that it can indicate, okay, this one is for DigitalOcean, this one is for GitLab, this one is for GitHub, so that you know which key to use at every point in time. This is what I mean. So if I do SSH keygen, see, it is asking me enter file in which to save the key. You know, normally we just press enter. If you press enter, it will save your file here, home/vagrant/ssh /ssh/id underscore RSA. So it will now appear here beside this authorized key. But in this situation, we want to generate it for DigitalOcean. This is what I recommend. And Mayowa, our instructor, did this when she was generating as well. If you remember, she generated it in a specified folder and gave it she generated it in a different folder. So you can also generate this like this in a different folder. So you can create another folder if you want, but this is what I recommend. Generate it in the same folder but give it a different name. So it will be home slash vagrant slash dot ssh slash id underscore rsa. But in this situation, add another underscore after the rsa and use a underscore do, which stands for digital ocean. This is our private key. Once you press enter, it generates the public key automatically. The public key will now be id underscore rsa dot underscore do dot pub. I'll show you what I mean. It has been generated. Now let's do ls. You can see what I mean. Now we have id underscore rsa underscore do and id underscore rsa underscore do dot pub. You know, normally what we are supposed to have is id underscore. So if you generate another key, it will still be here as well. So you have different key for different server, so you don't overwrite your own key and it doesn't lock you out. I hope that is clear. Now let's go back to this folder where we want to be working from, Ansible. Yeah, now here we now go ahead to spin up our server, right? So you come on DigitalOcean here. You have to I don't know, there's a way for me to, let me see if I can try it. There is a way to, okay, good, there is a way to go back and forth. All right, so now let's spin up our server. I'm going to spin it up in London. You can spin it up anywhere, but lately I've been having issues spinning. Whenever I spin up in London, after like 30 minutes you won't be able to ping this server anymore. It will just start crashing. I don't know if it is DigitalOcean's problem or it is the data center. So this time I will use New York. Let me use New York now. And remember what I told you about this Ubuntu. The default one you will see here, because I've selected this one before, is why you are seeing 22.04. But if you are following along, what you'll be seeing is 25.04. Please change it to 22.04 for peace to reign in our lives. So change it to 22.04. This 25.04, I explained why I think it is an issue. You have to create a virtual environment to install your Ansible before you can ping. But in this 22.04, you are able to do it automatically without installing too much dependencies. So click on regular and click on the $6 per month and come here, select this one is going to be on password, so select SSH key here and click on new SSH key. So here you are supposed to paste your id underscore rsa dot underscore pub underscore digitalocean dot pub. Again, id underscore rsa underscore digitalocean dot pub, which is the which is the key we generated. Where is it? Here. The key we generated here, this one, that's what we need. So how do we see the contents? Remember, we are in our Ansible folder. You can do it from here. You just type cat, go home, then when you are home, go to .ssh folder, then go to id underscore rsa underscore do dot pub. See, it shows you because I catted. So you copy it like this and you go back to your DigitalOcean and paste it there. Now you can give it any name you like. I'm going to give it Ansible project. Let's call it Ansible project, and you add your SSH key. See, it has been added. You can disable this one, Ansible assignment. Well, I had this one there before. You don't have anyone, so make sure the one you just created is the only one you are selecting here. Then you go down, nothing else, and you create your droplet. Let's wait while it spins up the server. I had one here before that I'm going to destroy because I could still use it, but then I don't have that SSH key anymore. So let me just destroy this previous one so it doesn't confuse us. All right, the current one is still trying to spin up. probably take a minute, and here it comes. So once it spins up, the only thing I want you to do here is to click on copy. Just click on this server, this IP address. Anywhere you click on it, it will copy. You can see this copy. It will say copied. Then go back here, right? You can clear your screen to make it beautiful. So when you do ls, you can see there is nothing there. So what I want you to do now is nano host inventory, which is our inventory file. For those that joined yesterday, I explained that there are two ways you can write an inventory file: the YAML way and the ini method. The ini method is what our instructors have been using. Do you understand? So if you how do I explain this? So for host inventory using the YAML method here, you will need to put host inventory.yml or .yml. Then the way you write your inventory, what do they call it? The content, the way you uh, describe your host or the content of your .yml file for the inventory file is very, very different from the way we write these ones. So this ones is the ini method. It's considered old method anyways, but it works, so we should stick by it. So if you have been seeing other options on ChatGPT, again, you need to know what you are doing to be able to know that, okay, I used what ChatGPT told me, but I'm still getting it wrong. What's going on? Do you understand? So you paste that server here. I'll still come back to tell us, or let me just tell us now. So after pasting your server here, you might encounter an error in the future that will tell you it cannot SSH. Okay, you know what? Let's leave it for now and just proceed. I'll come back to it. So you save and you exit, right? Then the next thing we have to do now is to write our playbook. So you create a new playbook called nano playbook.yml or .yml. Anyone works. Do you understand? And you go into it. I'm going to be very fast because of time. I plan to keep this under 1 hour. So to write your playbook, you start with 3 dashes or at the top. We all remember this, right? You come one step down and you go name. The name of the project you are trying to work on is to set up web server, right? And indentation is very important. Again, if you joined the session yesterday, I explained all these things, so I don't want to waste time going back and forth again. Indentation is the space between the wall of the console you are working on and where you begin writing your syntax or command. Do you understand? So that is indentation. Just like if you have a Word file, you know, sometimes you write number 1, then you write number 1A, then 1A will be inside. Then let me show you what I mean. Let me open a Word file quickly and explain indentation to us. So this is, let me write number 1. No, not like that. Let me write number 1. I am a boy, right? See, 2 follows the same line. I am a girl. But what if I want to write 2A? Now I can come here. You can see the way it has listed it. 1 is on this line and A is a bit inside. So I will show you what I mean. You can see I don't want to use I want to use something else. Hold on. I don't want to use I. Let me use no, not this. Let me use I want to use ABC. Anyway, okay. I don't know. No, not this, for crying out loud. You know what? Let's stick to that I. It still explains the same thing anyways. So you see, this is 2I. You say Tade is a girl. And if you go again, Tade is a boy. And I can say number 3 here. I can say number 3. Do you understand? Then I write something else. And if I come under, I can write something else. Then I can come here and say hi again. I don't know why the thing is misbehaving. But the bottom line is, you see the way these ones are starting from here. This numbering are starting from here. I can shift it to the back. This numbering are starting from here. And this high is starting from inside here. Then you can make this I start from under 30. No, not this one. But I hope you understand what I mean. This is indentation. You start on one line, go inside, start on another line. So what's it called? In when writing a playbook, you define your lines by two space bars or two space keys. You tap the space bar twice, so you can see the name where it started on the wall. So if you tap space bar twice, 1 2, then write the next command, hosts. I don't know if that's the perfect explanation, but I hope you get it. You can write your host, you can say hall, right? Then you go two spaces again, then write become. Become mean you specify, yes, become means that whoever the user is, they should have you know uh, privileges to run some command that might require root privilege. Do you understand? So whoever the user is, it will run. It won't prompt you to enter password or anything like that. So now we are going to start with our task. So in our let's go to the assignment. I'm just going to open this somewhere else. Hold on for me. I'm going to open this somewhere else. I hope I can move it to another window. No, I can't. Anyways, I can see what I need to see here. I can make it big. Yep. So our assignment says, let me put it on full screen. It says install, oh sorry, this is not where I'm heading to. This is not it. I think it should be week 2, I mean week 1. I don't have the file, so sorry that I have to do it this way. So this is yep, you can put it in full screen. All right, it says we should install Apache. So let's start with it immediately. We can not this one. All right, let's start with it immediately. So our task is to install Apache. So this is how we start. We set the task, and under the task we specify 2 lines to indent it again, 1 2, and you go name. What are we doing? Installing. Meanwhile, before you install Apache, let's do this first. Let's when you want to install app now, you do sudo apps update. So let's do the playbook style of sudo app update. You say name updates apps catch, right? And you come under here, two space, I don't know, 2 spaces, or you tap your space bar twice and you specify a module, ansible.builtin.apt. This is a module. Module are used to install apps. Module can be used to, you can use your module for HTML as well. There are a lot of modules in Ansible. Do you understand? So you will be seeing the usage as we continue. Remember, the assignment said this assignment touches all the core areas of Ansible: inventory, modules, playbook, idempotency, service management, config, changes, firewall rules. So inventory is what we've already done, where we specify the server. Modules is this ansible.builtin.apt that I just wrote. Playbook is what we are currently writing. The whole thing we are writing now is playbook. This is a module. Here it is a module. So there are different modules that exist in the Ansible, I don't know if I should say directory or like a database. So you come under here, you specify 2 lines again. then you say give me a minute, update catch, and you say yes. So this is a play that we've just specified. We are saying we want to, you see here, you don't need to cram it, you can write anything here. So just know what you are doing. We are updating apt catch, abi, so that it can do sudo apt update first before you start installing our Apache and everything we need to do. So this is the play to use to install your apps, to update your package manager. Do you understand? So now we are going to start by installing Apache. You can already guess how the syntax will go. So here you say install Apache 2, right? And you go under again. What module would we use to install app? Same module that I just specified, ansible.builtin.apt. And what app are we installing? You say name. Hold on, my hand key is kind of faulty. You say Apache 2. You go under it again. You say states. The state of Apache 2 is present. If you set it to latest, it will install the latest version, but sometimes it is not recommended because it can break your production if some settings in the latest app, in the latest installation, does not really match the previous one. So just to be safe, use present. So these two plays now, what it does is it does sudo apt update. This one now, it does sudo apt update, right? Then this one, sudo apt install Apache 2. That's what you are doing here. Do you understand? It's not really difficult. So we go to the next one. It says deploy a custom index.html that says my name is, your name there, hello from Ansible. So you come here, you say name. What are we doing? We are deploying custom. You can write whatever you like, but this is how it came to me. Index.html, deploying custom.html file, yeah, or just say deploying custom index.html, and you come here. Now definitely we cannot use the built-in for apt to deploy because we are not installing an apt this time. So what do you think we would use? What we use is copy. The copy module. The copy module is what we would use here. The copy module, that's what we use to edit our index.html. And here you say destination. You go 2 steps in. So after the module, always go 2 steps, 2 spaces in. You say destination. Destination, I think you can also use path, path, but destination is like the recommended way. Like maybe I haven't mentioned it. There are different ways to do this, right? But there are ways that they are like backdoor ways, and there are ways that they are like the right way. So this is the right way I'm trying to teach us, and I hope we understand it. So dest means destination. It means which destination do you want to deploy this index.html. Remember, our index.html is located in /var/www/html/ this is where the file exists, index.html, right? And we'll go, what is it you now want to deploy? You specify by saying content, and you come down a bit. Now for those of you that still remember how to write the HTML syntax, you go 2 steps in. You can write it manually. I can write it. You start by saying HTML, right? You open that tag, right? After you've opened the tag, you have your header section, abi. So you open the header section, head, or you can come 1 step down and say head, right? Close it. Maybe you want to write, this is my first Ansible you close it. But remember, whatever is an hour ahead does not show. It doesn't. What if I told you I've forgotten? But to save time, let me just copy. I have a syntax here that I've already saved. It's been a while I wrote HTML. So you can copy this. Yep, you can copy this. You can copy this and just backspace. I think whatever is in the X section doesn't show now. Yeah, whatever is in the X section doesn't show. So here we go, right? You don't even need to include the head, but let's just include it for inclusion's sake. And this is your tax 3. Oh, tax 2, deploy a custom index.html. So you say, hi, my name is whatever your name. Then you say hello from Ansible. So the next thing we have to do is to set the server to Africa Lagos time zone. So following the same thing we've been doing, remember, once you start going down, you might not know how many lines to count. 2 lines belongs to the name setup web server. Then another 2 lines is where you now start from. That's 4 lines. You say name. What are we doing? Set time zone to Africa/Lagos. We are going to be using a module as well. Who knows the module we'll be using? It will be ansible.builtin.timezone. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest. So far you understand the indentation, the rest is easy. And remember, after our module, you have to go 2 spaces in, 1, 2. There you go. You say you say name, you say Africa, then you say /Lagos. That's all for our time. That is all. See, it's not easy. Then you go 4 steps again, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's space bar in 4 places. The next thing says ensure the service is started and enabled on boot. What service are they talking about? I think they are talking about Apache. So we want to ensure Apache is started and enabled on boot. You go name of what we are doing. Ensure Apache. I like to use small letter, but I think using sentence case is good. Apache 2 is started and enabled on boot, right? Who knows the module we'll be using here? What module do we what's the English? What do we use to start, restart, reload, services on our Linux machine, or on our machine, on our server? We use what? ansible.builtin.systemd. Do we remember? And again, under here we go 2 steps in, 1, 2, and we'll start giving it what we want it to do. You say name, that is the name of the app you want to enable and start on boot, Apache 2, right? Then you come here again, you say state, the state you want it enabled. I think state should be started, right? That means whenever the system starts, it starts, the Apache 2 starts, right? Then enabled, you set it to yes. That means you want to start and enable it on boot. Here, you want to start and enable it on boot. So you say start state is started and enabled, yes. So it starts and enables on boot. I think that's about that. Let me take a look again. If I remember anything, I'll come back. And then the last thing that we have been asked to do is I think should be here. It says open port 80 in the firewall to allow Apache serve the web pages. I won't do this yet, or you know what, let's just go ahead and do it. Name Now, this is quite tricky. Even though it says open port 80 in the firewall to allow Apache serve the web pages, it means that on your managed node, you have to open port 80. But before you can open port 80 on your managed node, you have to install UFW, which is the firewall. If the firewall does not, how do you control something that is not installed? So we are going to define a play that is going to install the firewall first. So we say install UFW on managed node, or even if you don't want to say that, just say install UFW, and you come and say, what do we use to install? Ansible dot built-in dot apt, right? And remember, you go 2 steps in, 1, 2, and you say name of the app you want to install, UFW, and you say state, you say present. So this installs UFW, that firewall, on every server that we've specified. Then now you want to hold on, let me think, because it's not easy putting all these things in here. We've installed it. We want to allow port 80, right? Or what was it the assignment said? It says open port 80, which is the HTTP, in the firewall to allow Apache serve the web pages. So you say name open port 80 in brackets, or you don't need to put it in brackets, HTTP, right? And you say you know we've installed UFW, so now you can use UFW module. You say ansible, I don't know why I keep writing ansible dot built-in dot UFW. You can't use this if you don't install this, because you can't use a module you've not installed. I don't know if that makes sense. You cannot use a module you've not installed. So we've now installed UFW, then we can now use the module to open the port, right? And you go 2 steps in again, and you say hold on, you say my head. There is one, I know you specify the rule, you specify the port. Yes, the first thing you do is specify the states. I hope it is states. You say no. I think there is something before that, but I can't remember. Maybe I'll go and peep. But I know you say rule allow, right? And there is something I just noticed that I'll bring our attention to it now. You say rule allow, and the port, you say 80, right? You can say 80 slash TCP, or if you want, you can come down here and say proto, yeah, TCP. One more thing is missing here, so let me go and GWO. Let me go and peep, yeah. Nah, it's not here. Let me quickly go and check. I want to do Orijo. So let me quickly check something very quickly, just to be sure. Let me see here. Let me see, open port 80. Let me see. I just want to be sure is all. No. Just want to be sure is all. Nah, it's still copying the same thing. I just want to be sure. I need to be sure. What are you doing? trying to look for, I don't want to ask ChatGPT. So no, this is not it. Install UFW. We've done this, right? I'm looking for something. If you need an app like this, download copy clip. It saves the last 100 things you copy, so it makes my work easier. So you can download it if you want. Okay. Let me check. Let me check ChatGPT. I'm sure I asked ChatGPT earlier. Yeah. Actually, that was all we needed to specify. If you can see, that was all we needed to specify. Yes, I think. Yep, the row, the port, and the pro tool. Yeah, that was all we needed to specify. Yep, that was all we needed to. I was actually right, Sometimes the information is too much. All right, let's go back to, that was all I needed to specify. Okay, yeah, we are on the right track. This is all I need to specify. There is one more thing we now need to do. We need to enable the UFW. So name, you say enable, because we need to enable it for it to work. Enable UFW, like this play that we've put here, it has to come into effect. What you might ask me, why we are not enabling it first before specifying the before opening the port. I did ask ChatGPT myself, and it says this is the right way to go about it. So it says you need to put enabled at the end. So enable UFW, and you go ansible.builtin.ufw, right? All you need to do here is state enabled. Yep. Now, one thing I said I wanted to call our attention to is, in front of every module there have to be a column, which we did not put. So there has to be a column, or else your playbook won't run. Column in front of every built-in module, every module rather, you have to put your column for it to work. Right. In front of every module, you have to include a column. And I'm going to teach us something to check if our playbook is correct before we even decide to run it. It is a very interesting syntax, and I think this should be it. I think we are done here. Let me just take one last, look at it. You can, let me look at spelling mistakes, because I've been typing ansible instead of ansible. Yeah, I think I typed it correct and everything. Now let's save. Control O, save, Control X. Ignore this. So before we do anything else, we need to install, we should have done this before creating our host inventory and our playbook, but it doesn't matter. We need to install Ansible. Remember, this is a fresh vagrant. If you've installed it before, no problem, but if you haven't, we need to install our Ansible and set a path for the host inventory. I will explain to us. So this is how to, I think what Abuangu did was, I'm going to try and guess with my brain. Sudo apt, it was in the root directory, and I don't want to go into the root directory, so I'm going to say sudo apt install software properties. Let me try. There's no error in there's no what's it called in trying, crime in trying. Sudo apt install, then it went software properties common, and it says Python. So what this is doing is installing, that means I didn't get this. I didn't get this. You know what? Let me try it again. I think there is -y here. Install -y. If I don't get it, it means I missed something. Yeah, I missed something. So let me ask ChatGPT what I'm missing. Honestly, I know it's common properties. Yeah, so let's see. The command you shared is used to install packages on an Ubuntu. Okay, this is not working. Let's see why it is not working. I'm sure I'm missing something very little. There is no Python apps for Python 3. It has been replaced with Python 3 apps. So your command should be Python 3 apps. Although that wasn't what Amy installed though. Well, let's see. It says sudo apps. It says it should be Python 3. Okay, maybe it was Python 3 mentioned. Okay, this works. All right. So once this is done, the command again is this. Let me show you. Sudo is just like this, but in front of this Python, put 3, Python 3 dash apt. So sudo apt install -y software dash properties dash common space Python 3 dash apt, and you will get everything you need. And after that, you can see it here, sudo apt install. So I'm going to copy it and put it in the description section of the YouTube video. So let me copy and save it here. So then you go ahead and install Ansible sudo apt update. So yeah, sudo apt update. Once that is done, you do sudo apt install -y if you don't want it to ask you a question, Ansible, and that will be done. I also recommend you install the UFW firewall. I recommend you install it. So once this is done, you can do sudo apt install UFW. Yeah. So let's give it a minute. It is almost done. For it to finish up. It's just stuck on 98. Oh, it's done now. So you can now do sudo apt install. That's my laptop racing, or in case you are hearing the sound, I'm on 27%. So sudo apt install UFW. It goes ahead and installs UFW, but it said UFW set to manually installed. See, I already have it, so it means UFW already comes with your Vagrant box. You don't need to install it. So the next thing to do from here, let me see. So you can try to ping now that we've written our playbook. I can guarantee you that this thing will not ping. I'm telling you ahead now. If it pings, I'll be surprised, but I'll tell you what to do. So let's try and ping by saying Ansible, or my N key is faulty. I'm sure that is popular. That is general news by now. Ansible or -I. The name of our inventory file, which is host inventory, then -m, and then ping. It will not ping. So it's going to ask you this, and you type yes, and it will throw you an error. So what is going on? We are going to open our host inventory and set a path that points directly to our private key. So you do nano host inventory. I said I was coming back here. I don't know if I should try and guess this from my head or if I should just copy it, but let me try. I'm learning as well. So you say ansible underscore user, you set it to root, then you say ansible SSH, yeah, private, yes, key and file. You set it to, what this is as trying to do is trying to set the Ansible private key file. Do you remember where it is located? It is located at home. Do we remember? Slash dot ssh slash hold on, let me try and remember. Yeah, the tilde sign is to go home, then slash ssh slash id underscore rsa. Now don't confuse yourself. We are not using the public key here. The public key works for public use, so it has already gone on our droplet when we wanted to spin our droplet. Remember, we use ssh key, the public key. So here in this inventory file, you specify your private key. So I explained to those that attended the session yesterday that your public key is like a lock and your private key is your kokoro, your key in your pocket. So you know, if you have a door, everybody can see your door and see your lock, but they don't have the key to that door. So your private key is the key to that door. So we have already fixed a lock on our digital ocean. The private key to now unlock it is the private key we are now specifying here. So we can specify public key as well here. Public key is meant to be used to spin up the server. Private key is meant to point the server. We point in the host inventory file, we point the IP address, the server, to this private key to tell it this is the key to use to open that door, that lock that we fixed. Do you understand? So we've specified our Ansible user. This Ansible user means that when trying to log in as root. Then this says Ansible SSH private key file is pointing to the key, the private key. You know, our public key is .pub, but here is private key we are using. And the last thing is this is where I have to go and check. I can't remember. Let me just be honest. I can check from here. I think I have it here. I have it somewhere here. So this is what we are trying to do here. You can see Ansible user root, right? Ansible SSH private key file. You can see .ssh slash id underscore rsa underscore do. Then Ansible Python interpreter is the last thing we want to specify here now. Let me make this big again. So our Ansible Python interpreter is telling our managed node to interpret our playbook with Python 3. So this is all you have to specify. You can, I'll put this in the what's it called, in the description box of the YouTube video, but do me a favor, don't just paste what I have here. If when you are creating your private key, what you specified is id underscore rsa dot bobo, so that means, id underscore rsa underscore bobo, that means what you have to put here, you edit this place here, you edit it to id underscore rsa underscore bobo. If it is id underscore rsa underscore aws, you put there. If you copy this my own and put it, won't work. You have to edit this place to id underscore rsa underscore aws. Then where you saved your private key, if it is your keys, if it is a different folder, that is the folder you have to specify here. That is the folder you have to specify here. Do you understand? So that is it's just this place you need to edit from here to here. But if you used underscore do, which is DigitalOcean, like I did, just copy and paste this in front of your IP address. So the IP address space Ansible user, you specify root, Ansible SSH private key file, you specify the location, and Ansible Python interpreter, and you specify the file where it is located, and you save. Do Ctrl X. To the best of my knowledge, this should ping. this should ping. If it doesn't, we'll debug together. Here we go. Voila. See, it worked. So just because you didn't specify the private key is why this failed. Do you understand? So specify the private key inside your host inventory file. I know Abuango didn't do that, but I also want you to know the video is from 2022. That video of Abuango we are watching is from 2022. So some things have changed. This is like maybe a new method. Maybe you have a better way. Please feel free to experiment. But I'm telling you, nothing will never experiment. This is the only way that works. If you used Ubuntu 2025.05, the latest one that I told you does not allow, it blocks installing the 6 module. This one, you know when you want to create a droplet, that Ubuntu, is it 25 point something? This one here. If you used it, when you get here and you try to ping, it will not ping. It will not ping, even though you go inside the host inventory and specify that syntax I told you, the Ansible user root, then Ansible private key pair, whatever. It will not work. You have to install pip3, or whether it's called pip3, then use that pip3 to install Ansible in a virtual environment. See, it sounds like a lot. Just use Ubuntu 22.0. I mean, is it 22? This Ubuntu, this one here, yeah, 22.04, and your life will be peaceful. So once this is done, remember we've also worked on our playbook. There is a syntax I'm going to show us, which I'm also going to put in the file that I told you. This syntax helps us check our playbook if it is correct. So if your playbook is not correct, this syntax will tell you before you even decide to deploy. So you edit this to your, I'll drop the generic what's it called, so you can edit it to your name, to your own, how you've specified. Sorry that I'm blabbing. So what I have here is ansible-playbook -i host inventory playbook.yml, then check, and you run enter. See, it says there is a syntax error, and it says it is happening on line 42 column 8. Can you see in our playbook? See, it is where that open port 80 is. So let's go and see what's going on. You nano back. Remember, it says line 42 column 4. So nano back into your playbook. If you want to check for line, you press Ctrl plus underscore, then you press line 42. Just press enter. It takes you straight to line 42. Now let's look at this together and try and guess what the issue is. I can already see what the issue is. The indentation is wrong. If you see this 3 now, the line where this dash started from, this one tends to be like at the back, so it's missing one more space. See, it's correct now, and the one under it as well is correct. Then the Ansible under it too have to be on the same line, and I think these ones, they have to be two spaces. Now that we've shifted it in, it is now one space, so you have to shift these ones in 2 spaces as well. So it's already one space, you just shift twice, because if you do backspace twice, 1 2, it aligns, so it has to be 2 spaces after the name and the module, 1 2. So you adjust for this one as well. I hope I'm not performing magic. And you do Ctrl O, and you do Ctrl S. Run that syntax again. See, it says another, so it checks error one after the other. It said another error on line 2 column 3. Line 2 column 3. So let's go to line 2 column 3. Let's nano back. You can do Ctrl underscore, although I know where line 2 is, but just press 2 here, and it takes you to line 2. So what is the issue here? Set up web server hosts. What do you think the issue is here? What could the issue be? Name, setup. Is it hosts or hosts? You know what? Let me see more display. It says setup web server. The name. Did I use double spacing? Let's find out. Says there is an issue here and I don't see an issue here. It could be something, it could be a spelling mistake. So what issue is here? Name, set up web server, hosts, or is it hosts? I'm sure it is host with an S, but let's see. Let's run the syntax check again. See, it's still saying it. It says line 2. The offending line appears to be. So it has to be host, right? Because it's not saying. Let me change that back to hosts. Or is he asking me to add space here? Could that be? Let's see if I don't know what is asking me to do. See, I've added space and now it's saying line 3 column 3, but it's still the same thing because I've added the space. It's now taking me a bit down. Set up web server. What did I do wrong? 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 Trust me. Or is there I don't think there's supposed to be space there. Name. Let's ask ChatGPT so we don't waste too much time recording this. In case you are hearing some noise, that's my laptop running and rolling and making noise. Is there something wrong here? The snippet you shared is a valid. It says it is correct. So what's going on? What's going on? Let me copy it from here to here and ask. Okay. The problem is that should be task. Oh, could that be? Okay. This should be tasks with an S, not task. So let's save. Control O. But I'll be surprised because it directed me to line 3. So let's do syntax check again. I'll be surprised, to be honest. Oh, I'm running the playbook. Jesus Christ. Let me control C. That's not what I intend to do. This check I want to do. Oh, okay. There are 2 types of check. Let's not mix it up. There is a syntax check. So this is the check Abuango told us, where it checks what you want to deploy. That's not the check I'm trying to use. I'm trying to use syntax check. This syntax check checks your playbook, yeah, and tells you. I need to look for it now. Hold on. Somewhere around here. Very funny, you know. It's somewhere around here because that one just started deploying. Yeah, see the one I want to use. This is the one I want to use. This one I'm about to copy. I'll give it to you guys. There are 2 kind of check. This other check that was just trying to run, that started checking all of this, is meant after your playbook has given you a good answer that is good enough, then you can use that to check it before you deploy, before you go and crash all the server. You see the changes it wants to make before you deploy. So this is the check I'm trying to use. Wow. This one now show command C. Hold on. Something is going on. Control C. Let me clear my screen. Like I said, this is the check I'm trying to use. Yes, this one. Oh, he said your playbook could not be found. Do you know why? Because my playbook is not called your playbook. It's playbook.yml, not .yml. You can name yours yml. It works. So you can see it now says playbook.yml. Let me show you something quickly. Let's say I decide to remove this S and save, right? If I run that syntax, it will not work. It will tell me there is an error with my playbook. So until you get this answer, your playbook is not okay enough to be used. See, gives me that error again, line 2 column 3. Do you understand? So you do nano back into it, correct it. That task should be tasks with an S. You can see with all the playbook that we wrote, we only encountered just 2 or 3 errors. That's because the more you write, the more you get perfect. Do you understand? So you have to practice it. You don't have to follow what I'm doing and just be copying and pasting. So if I run that syntax again, it will say playbook, so it means my playbook is good. So let's try and ping again. Remember, we pinged previously. So in previous time when I used that other Ubuntu, 25 point whatever, whenever I ping and I ping again later, it won't ping. It will start bringing error. So I don't know why it does that. Yeah, if I ping again, it should ping all is being equal. Ping in Jesus' name. Yes. Now you can deploy your playbook. Ansible playbook. I hope I'm correct. -I host event tree, then the playbook name, and here we go. It deploys your playbook. We are not done. No, we are not done. But let's see. Once it's done deploying, then we can check our website if it is working and if everything we've done is correct. So practice writing this playbook. Let me tell you what I did that worked for me. It might not work for you, but I would love to share. I'll write the playbook and I'll run that syntax. Every time it tells me there is a syntax wrong, I delete my playbook, the old playbook, and rewrite again from the beginning until it doesn't tell me I'm wrong. Do you understand? So every time I redo it, I make sure the correction that he told me, that he pointed out, I pay attention to it this time. So I did it more than 20 times before I got the first success in my playbook. Now you most likely get this. This is not an error. You know that when we were trying to open port 80, we wrote 80. We were supposed to put it into a single column. It has done that for us, so we don't be bothered about this. See, everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. So we are going to go ahead and visit our website and see if we are good to go. So yep, let's just copy the droplet website. Should be here. Our droplet. See, it works perfectly. But I've been battling with that Ubuntu 25.04 or whatever it is. I dislike it right now. I've been battling with it for days and it didn't work. So you can say actually if you just put this here, it should work. See, hello, my name is Okikiola. Hello from Ansible. Now let me tell you one thing. You can see at the top here, it says not secure. Do you know why it says that? Because you are accessing this. Putting just the IP is the same thing as saying HTTP / then the IP address. It's the same thing. See, it still says not secure. Hold on, I don't know what's wrong with Siri. Okay, I hope you guys can hear me. I'll repeat. So if you use HTTP like I just used, let me try it again. HTTP without, there is HTTP and there is HTTPS. HTTP is default, it's not secure. Then you do : / and the IP. If you run it, it still works. It says, hi, my name is Okikiola. Hello from Ansible. If you just paste the IP without specifying HTTP, it's the same thing. If you want to make it secure, you want it to be secure, come to your droplet here. Click on it. Click on networking here. Can you see my cursor? Networking. Then scroll down. Click on firewalls. Click on edit. And click on create firewall. Now name your firewall whatever you like. Ansible. What was it I named the... Okay, before you come here, you have to copy. Go to your droplet. You have to copy this droplet name, because it's going to ask you which droplet you are trying to. You have to. Why does it not want to copy you? Nah, don't stress me now. Okay, let's open it. Let me try and copy it. Command C, then you open the droplets, you go to networking, scroll down to the bottom, edit, you create firewall, you put ansible assignment. I don't know if this is what I used, but it doesn't matter. And see, currently is allowing SSH, you use HTTPS. Meanwhile, before you specify it, if you come to here and you specify HTTPS, it's not supposed to work. Yeah? Oh, okay, it's still loading. I thought it worked. It's still loading. So it's not working. This is how you know. HTTPS colon slash slash, then put that web address. No, not this one. If you load it, see, it's not working. It's not working. Can you see? It can't be reached. That's because you've not specified it. Now see the magic here. HTTP is different from HTTPS. So this is HTTPS. I just added HTTPS, and I'm going to go ahead. It's going to say search for a droplet. Like, which droplet do I want to apply these changes to? Remember that droplet name that we copied. Again, if you want to use this app I'm using to save like the previous 100, you can even use previous 1000 things you've copied. The name is copy clip. Let me quickly show you. I'm not advertising, no. Copy clip. No, it's clip. Yeah, copy clip. This is it. It's on App Store. I think you can install it as well on Windows. There are other apps too that works anyways. So we've specified the name, and you select it down here, the name of the Ubuntu, the droplet you want to apply it to. Again, this is what I did. After, this was what I met there by default. This wasn't there. Yeah, so you come here, select new row, select HTTPS, then come here, the droplet name, you paste it. You know, we copied it, and you create firewall. If I come back here, it should work. It should work in Jesus' name. Fire. Let me just refresh here. It should work. Let me specify HTTPS colon slash slash command Z, the IP command V. Come on, it's supposed to work. It's supposed to work. Okay, in our playbook, did we specify? We are already done. No, we are done with the assignments. I'm just trying to. I like to put my eyes in what doesn't concern me sometimes. Let me ask ChatGPT. I know I can specify it in my playbook, but my Ansible works with HTTP slash slash, but not with HTTPS slash slash. What can I do? Let's see what we can do. It still didn't work right. See, it says in our playbook we can install it. You can install a secure. This one is long enough. Okay, let me see what it's saying we can do. Apache needs the SSL module and SAT. Add tags to your. So you have to install Apache. I don't think I want to do this right now. Okay, you have to install. This is what you have to do anyways. Install Apache. I'm sure we'll get there. Actually, the next topic is networking, Abby. That's for last week. I've not done it. I'm still on Apache. I try not to move on if I'm still on something, so I don't get too much in my head. But this is everything. I guess this is not necessary. This firewall I just specified. But our website works if you just put just the address, it works. So this is everything you need to do, and this is 1 hour 19 minutes. If you follow this process, You can say I destroyed my Vagrant, so you won't say, oh, maybe I have something installed before. No, I had to do it all over. Please try to write your playbook by yourselves. We've done Bash, we've done cron jobs, we've done Ansible. This Ansible is the most, challenging thing I've learned in my life because people that were on the session yesterday can tell how stressed we spent. More than 4 hours there trying to find the solution to this. Not knowing the playbook we wrote is not the issue. It is the Ubuntu 25.04 on DigitalOcean that is causing the issue. People that are using AWS will most likely not have the same issue, but this is it. It works, and that is all that matters. See you guys next time. Ciao.